Hello there, story in the day, set the camera up. Yeah, I was in Haverick, which is Cumbria. We're up there and I was living in the Lannet. I got a job in the cleaners, which was like the laundry. You to do all this thing's called the calendar. You put the sheets through and you dry them. You'd wash all the football strips for that area. All football teams would come and rugby teams, a lot of rugby up there. We used to do all the laundry for them, but it was the best job because you get a phone card of people for doing the clothes for them and stuff. And it was a good job. It was better than me doing other jobs in the jail. So anyway, I met a lad in there. Nearly everyone in the laundry was these Scousers. I think it was one from Scotland. No, one from Scotland. The rest were all Scousers, but they were all Liverpool fans. And Man U were the best team then. I used to torture them, and Man U won all the 95, 96. So I was in there, and I met this other Scouse kid, but he's an Evertonian fan. And I didn't realise how bad they hate each other. It's a bit like Glasgow Rangers and Celtic. They hate each other, you know, like the teams, the Liverpool and the Evertonians and that. So it's a bit like Catholic Protestants type of thing. So anyway, I started talking to him and all. It seemed like kids. We used to play cards with a lad called Jono. Nice bloke from Liverpool. And another, I can't remember his name, but he was a big player in Liverpool. His son was a top fighter. So we're in there anyway, having a bit of laughing at. Anyway, this kid who was in with me ended up being a bit of a friend and that. So on a Saturday, you could get out your billets. You could go in each other's billets. We're all there, RAF billets, like a camp. You got the new camp, that was all made of metal, the building. I'll tell you about that later. And then you got the next part where you went on the camp, and you'd go in little billets. You'd have eight people on one side and 8 on the other. You could walk down the passageway, but you had your own key to each billet, and you could like go in each other's cells. And there was a kettle at the bottom. You could use that you could put eggs in there and make eggs, boiled eggs and stuff. So I was in there anyway. This Scouse kid was with us, nice kid, and he used to take a bit of smack and he used to make him like Speedy. You know, obviously clean all his pattern, clean everything, basically a bit of OCD. And he'd come see me, and he'd come out and see me, and he was talking. So he brought me. I've still got it. He brought me this thing about it was about a sci-fi program in Iceland. So he brought me, so could he like a cassette player. Still got it now. And anyway, I said, "What are you doing for?" I said, "Oh, I killed the kid." I said, "What happened?" He said, he lived in the same street as me. Been brought up together. He said, when he was bigger than me. This kid was about, I'd say, 6 foot, about dead skinny, tall, 6 foot, about 11, 12 stone. But fucking game kid, not a divvy, but I think he was a bit obviously he wasn't like that until he got to the jail and it changed him. So anyways, this lad's bullying him all the time, coming on the house. He used to drink on a Friday in the house. He'd come in the house and he started to slap him and box him. He's about 16, 17 stone. He's a lot bigger than him, about 5'10". And he said he used to go to the pub and he started bullying him in the pub. So this went on for about, he said he'd known him all his life in the street, but when they got a bit older, he's bullying him. So he was starting to hate this bloke. He's thinking, I'm going to kill this fucker. And this was going on for about a year. In his head thinking, I said, so what happened? How did it manifest? Which means it gets worse. He said he started like taking liberties every time he seen me and beating me up and stuff when he was drunk. Anyway, he said, I decided I was going to kill him. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, I decided I was going to kill him. He said, I got some diazepam tablets. He said, I'll put them in his coffee and I'll give him them while he's sat down, because he says he comes round and there was a chair over that side of the room against the wall, and there was a chair, say, here, and he would sit and watch the telly with him. He would sit that side. So he planned it. He said, I'll put it, you remember them old gramophones? He had one of them in the living room, and he had at the side, he lifted the lid up and he had the hammer there, mash hammer, and then he had another hammer in the kitchen. If you went in the kitchen, I've got him there as well, and he had a couple of knives. So anyway, he said, do you want a cup of tea? He went, oh. He said, oh. So he said, oh, you should sit down and I'll make a cup of tea. So he said, anyway, he said, no, I don't want a cup of tea. He said, I've got a couple of cans. So that fucked it up, you know, for the diazepam. So he thought, fuck it, I'll just do them anyway. So when he come in, the kid always sat in this chair, this side. And for the first time, he's gone and turned the telly on himself and sat on the other side. So the hammer's this side, so he couldn't do it. So he thought, fuck, I can't do it, can't do it yet. So he sat there drinking with him, devastated because he's having to plan it again. Plan to kill him, you see. So he's thinking, oh, I can't do it, I don't know what I'm going to do. So he had to wait another full week. I think it was a Friday or Saturday, and he'd come round. And what it was where they lived in this area, it was the houses, and they'd have like a little passage where you could walk through like a little alley, loads of them in the old war houses. They'd have them, and you could walk through. And what people would do would knock on the front door to see like a salesman. You'd answer it, but most family would just come down the alley, walk in, open the gate. All right, I'd just walk in. Family and friends would just come in and they'd have cups of tea in the kitchen and everything. So anyway, his family used to go out the weekend. So this lad, I said he planned it again. So this time he put the hammer there again and everything. Anyway, he said, "Oh, do you want a cup of tea?" He said, "Oh yeah." He said, "I've got him." So he put the guys, he'd already had them all crushed up in the water, so there was no bits and stuff. So he gave them, I think it was about fucking 10 or something, he put in his drink, or maybe more. So they're having a drink. Anyway, he started to fall asleep in the chair after about a couple of hours of drinking. He's had about 4 or 5, 6 tins of beer, and he's up to 10, 20, whatever fucking amount he put in. We crushed them all up perfect, grinded them down, put them in his drink. And then he went, he said, "Oh, just put some music on," and like that, and the bloke in the chair had fallen asleep. And he said he went round behind the back of the thing, got the hammer, and he panicked and put it back. He got a bit scared. Oh shit, his ass went a bit, and he went. And then he thought of him hitting him in the street and bullying him. He just sort of grabbed it, and he grabbed the fucking hammer and he smashed him over the head. I don't know how many times he hit him, but he constantly hit him over the head with the hammer and killed him in the chair. He was in one of the big old-fashioned chairs, the dead solid, sat in there, and he was just gone. All his brains were hanging out and everything. Anyway, he ran out the house. He dropped the hammer and ran out the house, ran up the street, panicking, don't know what to do. He said, "Oh." He said, "I was like rocking like this, like rocking mad." He said, he ran back in the house. He went, anyway, he went and phoned the police and said, "I've just killed such and such." Where at? He said, "In my house." He told him the address. Anyway, the police come straight in and went, "What have you done?" He said, and anyway, I don't know if the record or whatever. He said, "What have you done?" He said, "I've killed such and such." You don't know his name. Even if I did, I'm not going to mention any of the names. And he killed him in the chair, and he planned it for over a year. So when he went to court, he got life for it because he planned it. It was premeditated. Even though he went to a psychiatrist and he was mentally tortured, he still got a massive sentence. I don't know what he got. He got, I think, an IPP, I think it was called. So he got in there. So he got bullied that much. He planned it and killed the bloke in the chair, and obviously he went to jail for life. But in jail, he was a nice lad. You could see he wasn't a bully, but you could see he wouldn't take no bullying no more. So that bullying off him changed his life completely and turned him into like a nasty, not a nasty, but one of them people who would kill you if you caused trouble. You could see in his eyes he was capable of doing what he'd done. But yeah, another story in the day. Cheers, guys.